I don't think that's supposed to happen. I seem to have found a small bug. I had the world's first invisible excavator. Hello everyone, I'm CrypticFox, and welcome back to my gold mine here in Gold Rush. We're still at the old Arnold parcel. I've been working a lot in between videos to try to earn some money because I figured out that in order to move on to a tier 3 setup and move on to a new location, we were going to need a fairly big loan. The reality is I didn't own anything, so I couldn't get a loan. So I've been busy here digging away, trying to earn some money. I've dug out this gigantic pit, as you can see so far. It's been working pretty well for me. I've been doing pretty well at collecting gold off of it. As you can see, we're up to 115 ounces. I have 10 employees now working away with some of the hog pans and things as well to keep earning gold for me when I'm not actively digging myself. We've dug a fairly substantial pit here. The funny thing is, I think if I had the larger excavator, I could dig even deeper than what this is. This just happens to be the reach of the arm on the excavator that I have. There's still some pay dirt down there that we could gather up, and I'm kind of curious to see just how deep this would really go. But I'm probably not going to spend the time and money on it because I was really just trying to earn some cash so we can move on to a different claim. Now, they did seem to make some tweaks recently related to how gold is collected and how much is collected. I used to be able to fill these things up, like fill up 10 buckets of concentrate off of our 2 little mobile wash plants in a single day, but they seem to fill up dramatically slower now. Fortunately, the gold capture is really good off it now, too, so I don't know whether I hit one of the new hotspots of gold that they have, or if it's just a case of they've generally tweaked the total gold intake. But nevertheless, we managed to draw in a fair amount of gold. We're going to head into town now and see what we can do to try and do a little bit of shopping and try and get a loan for the materials we're going to need to have a significantly larger wash plant. Now, I think when I figured it out before, it was something like 350,000 or 400,000 we were going to need in terms of a loan in order to pay for everything. But I don't own any property right now, so the bank simply won't loan me that much because it's just too much risk. I don't have any collateral for them in the terms of property. So what we're going to do is we'll go in, we'll melt up the gold we have, get a gigantic bar, and then we're going to go to the bank and try buying some property. And then once we have a parcel of land, that should give us some collateral, and then the bank hopefully will give us a loan that will be big enough that we can buy all the equipment we're going to need because we have to do some fairly substantial shopping. One of the more recent updates to the game also seems to have affected the way that we collect magnetite and how much we earn for it. So I have $13,019 now. If I dump the magnetite that I have in here, I have $14,519. Granted, there's still 77% of there, so let's see how much we... No, see, there's some sort of a bug going on with this thing where it's showing that it's full. So it's showing that I have 77% of this thing filled up, but I can't empty it. And I'm not sure what the deal is. But the trick that we used to have with the buckets over at the wash plant where we could collect up all kinds of magnetite and then quickly fill up the trailer and sell it off for like $10,000, yeah, that's not really working so much anymore. So we're not really gathering cash off that anymore. So it's a good thing that the gold collection seems to be a little bit better. We're at the blacksmith shop. Let's get this gold bar all melted down. See what we get from smelting this. So we're sitting at 115.5 ounces, and if we melt the gold, it usually costs us an ounce or two. That's all right. So we got a pretty decent sized bar there. Let's take that out to the bank. We'll sell it off. That should get us more than $100,000. Pretty awesome. I mean, all things considered, I guess we've actually been doing pretty well at collecting gold off of the old Arnold parcel. Given that I went from, I think I had somewhere around 25 or 30 ounces. And I did a full cleanup. There was 10 or 12 pails of concentrate. All the pails that are in the back of the truck here. Off of the double wash plant that I have there. Did a full cleanup on those, and that pushed me up to that 115 ounces. So it was a pretty sizable chunk of gold we collected in that pit. So worst case scenario, I guess we could keep digging there if we need to make still more money. But I'm really hoping that if we sell off this gold bar and buy a property, then we'll be able to get a decent loan. So we're renting the old Arnold parcel right now. We could buy it for $25,000, but I don't think I want to get that one. Let's go sell the gold bars. $126,000. Nice. Sell that off. That gets up almost $140,000. That's pretty sweet. Okay, so we want to go to the parcels. We get Rivertown for $43,000. Pine Valley for $91,000. I kind of want to go to Pine Valley, but I don't know. It's kind of a long drive out there. Now, granted, I'm not going to really be dealing with magnetite anymore, so we might be able to do a lot more work out there without having to drive back to town quite so frequently. So long as we just sort of manage to keep our supplies on the, going along, which is pretty much fuel. So maybe let's buy this thing. We'll try out something different. We'll go all the way out to Pine Valley. We own it. Yes, that leaves me with $48,763. Now, please tell me this is how the loans work. And now that I have collateral, I can get something reasonable. You gotta be kidding me. $263,000. That's not even enough to get a full tier 3 setup. That's really not good. This game's killing me. You know what? Maybe if let's buy another parcel. We still have 48,000 left. Let's buy the old Arnold parcel. We've been renting it. Let's just buy it outright. Now I have 2 parcels of land. Show me the money. Are you kidding me? You've got to be kidding me. I just bought 2 parcels of land for a serious chunk of change, and I don't have the money to be able to set up a tier 3 setup. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do here? All right. Did it change by leaving and coming back? Gimme. No, 263,000. I mean, I can set this over a really long period of time because we can pay it off. We can pay it off in a lump sum now, which we couldn't do before. So it makes sense to stretch out the installments as long as possible. 263,000. All right, let's go shopping and see what I can get for 263,000. Maybe we can get enough to get the tier 3 plant going. We may not have the conveyor belt stuff in play this time around though. Well, we're back at Stephen Batty's heavy equipment store. Pure power, cash only. All right, so clearly we're not getting the dump truck. It would be really nice to have this, but this is something I'm going to buy down the road. 148,000 for that. So 263,000 is what we have to work with. Bare bones minimum, what we're going to need for this wash plant. We're definitely going to need the big excavator. That's going to take a fairly big chunk of it at 74,000. Really significant chunk of it, actually. So that would leave us about $189,000 to work with. Now, the reason we need the big excavator is not so much to load the wash plant as it is to relocate all the pieces of it in order to get it all set in place. There's really nothing else we can use. The smaller excavator is just not enough to lift all that heavy machinery. We already have a front-end loader, so we don't have to worry about that. We'll need a trommel. That's another 21,000. 21,100. So that's going to leave us with 167,900. We have to have the power generation system. That's 69,500. Leaves us $98,400. We could probably do without a big fuel tank initially, although it would really stink having to go back and forth with fuel all the time. But let's go to the must-have items first. We have to have a shaker deck. That's another 13,200. That leaves us with $85,200. We're going to need the duplex jig. So that's another 22,300. That leaves us with $62,900. We can do without the conveyor system for now. They're pretty expensive. $15,000 for that, $120,000 there. We can do without those. Ideally, when we get those, it will make the system a whole lot easier, particularly in conjunction with the dump truck, because you use the dump truck to actually fill up the wash plant with soil. Now, the rest of these parts here, the sluices are all in the hundreds of dollars, so they're not so bad. We already have things like wires and pumps and what have you, so I think we'd be well positioned that way. We're going to need some cables to do some lifting to do the relocating. So I think on 263,000, we can make a bare bones tier 3 system at our new facility, or our new claim. So, yeah, it's going to cost us a fair amount of money to ship that stuff out there, too, but that's okay. I think we'll be okay that way. I'm going to go take out that loan. We'll get all these things set to purchase and to ship out, and then we'll just take it from there, I guess. All right, it's a fairly substantial bill, $201,200, and it's funny to think there's even more that I really could be using, but let's order this up. So we've got all of our tier 3 equipment now. We do need to arrange for this all to be transported out. So let's look at a few things here. So the old Arnold parcel, we want to... let's see, we want to send the front-end loader over to Pine Valley. And then from the storage base, we want to send all this stuff over to Pine Valley, if we can. There we go. $9,450 worth of stuff to send over. But let's, oh man. All right, let's get that sent over. So we've got the bulk of our equipment over there that we need. We are going to have to go back to the old Arnold parcel in order to collect up a few things. We're going to need pumps and generators. We're going to need hoses and wires and all that sort of thing. Now we also have these T-Rock sluice box. TDJ sluice box. I'm not entirely sure what the deal is with all this, but I do know we need miner's moss, so we're going to need some racks to put in here as well that can create the riffles for us in the sluice box. We'll have to go buy those from the shop. So I'm going to go take care of that. We'll get back to the old Arnold parcel and get everything loaded up in the truck so we can head out to Pine Valley. We're back at the claim. It's pretty late in the day, but I have pretty much everything packed up at this point. There are a few items that I couldn't fit in. I did make a quick stop at the store to pick up the large trailer so we'd be able to fit everything in here. So pretty much everything that's back here is all of our gold cleanup stuff. We have a couple of these waterline extensions, which are really jittery. I hope they stay in the truck. That's not looking like it's going to stay. As long as the truck is moving, everything kind of anchors in place, but when it's sitting still, they kind of have an opportunity to move around, clearly. And they don't seem all that inclined to want to stay still. So I'm not sure what the deal is there, but hopefully they won't fall out. I do have a couple of extra water pumps and small generators and stuff. I'm not going to bother bringing those at the moment, simply because I don't have the room. If I need to, I can come back and get them. But I do have at least one water pump in here. One small generator in here. And we have the large generator that we sent over to the new claim anyway, the Pine Valley claim. This is all loaded up with our hoses and everything. We're going to head over to the Pine Valley claim now so we can get our Tier 3 stuff set up. I'm going to make a quick pit stop at the shop and pick up some cables that we're going to need in order to use the large excavator to move everything around and get it into place. And then we can finally get a Tier 3 setup going, which I think will be so cool. So, it's going to be... Alright. Wait a minute. Good catch. Alright, so we lost one hose. It flipped out and landed on the wash table. I don't know if it's going to stay there or not. Nope. No. Good times. There must be a limit to how much you can pile this stuff up before it decides it's not really on the stuff anymore. On the vehicle anymore. Let's see if we can... well, that stayed back there. It's a good thing I was keeping an eye on that. Alright. Take two. Please tell me all the rest of these things stay in place. I should probably watch where I'm going. All right, it looks like everything's gonna stay reasonably in place. Oh, I spoke too soon. This is gonna be a long drive. Welcome to Pine Valley. This is our new claim. We bought this one, so we're no more renting for us. We own 2 full claims now. We did buy the old Arnold parcel. I bought that one hoping it would raise up my value enough to get a better loan, but no such luck. This is a bit of a long drive to get up here, and I'm almost positive that I lost a few items on the way. Definitely I lost some of the hook ropes. I actually hooked a couple in the back of the truck just to make sure they wouldn't fall out anymore. Oh, I hear running water. Is that a creek like right there? That would be really handy if it is. Oh, it is. That's amazing. So I didn't really get a chance to look around out here before we bought this claim. Wow, look at that. That looks amazing. All this pristine earth just waiting for us to dig it up and make a horrible mess of it. But that scenery in the background is really cool. So, what do we got over here? So there's a... I guess... Is this supposed to be like our gold cleanup room, or is this where the power station's going to sit? Got a cash register and everything. A little staircase up to a disposal bin or something. That's kind of cool. Some beat up old buildings, which obviously we don't want to make any use of. But I hear the babbling of some water. Oh, that's amazing. So I thought the water was actually way in the back over there. If you look at the map. Oh, maybe they adjusted it. So there's actually... They're showing on here now where the water flows. I thought the water flow was way back here somewhere. So that's actually really, really handy. So I can probably stretch that over to the wash plant, which is going to be like right here, because this is where the whole Tier 3 wash plant is going to set up. Man, it's kind of dark out here. Maybe I should advance this to daytime. This is where our whole Tier 3 wash system is going to set up, and man, it looks like a hot mess. It's going to be fun to get all that all going. But at least I can stretch over to there with just probably a single a single pump and hose, which would be great. What do we got in here? So this is like I guess our storage area where we can store some other things. We had this on the Arnold claim. However, it was kind of oddly placed. It was way off to one side where it wasn't really accessible. We weren't likely to be using it, so I didn't really make any use of it all. And I'm stuck in the bushes. I can't get out. There we go. All right, we are a trailer. How about that? Gold tent or gold recovery tent. So we have a special tent set up for our gold recovery, but there's not really a lot of space in here for machinery and stuff. So I'm clearly going to do my gold recovery outside. Well, let's advance this to daytime and then start getting things set up a little bit. All right, day summary. Gold gathered by workers, 16.851 ounces. That's a pretty decent day of gathering on their part. Worker salary, $1,969, so they definitely paid for themselves. Because they would have brought in about 16,000, somewhere between 16,000 and $20,000 in gold, which is good. I mean, they're definitely earning their keep. Process oil, 109.626. I guess that's maybe tons, yards maybe. I'm not really sure. Earned gold, 81.668 ounces. Paid loan, $5,587. So there is a certain urgency to getting in some money on a regular basis. Now, with the 10 people that I have working, though, if they're consistently bringing in like $16,000 worth of gold a day, and I'm paying like $2,000, and I'm getting my loan is only $5,000, you know, we've got a pretty good net gain before I even do any digging over here, and that's pretty awesome. All right, so let's see how we fared for our cables. We got there's one. We got these ones here. We can take two. I think I lost one of them on the way, which really stinks. I stopped at the store and I bought 4 cables in order to move things around with. Yeah, I also lost my magnetite separator. So somewhere along the tire's still going. Somewhere along the route back to the old Arnold parcel, we've got a magnetite separator sitting around, which is what the that's a problem. Can I put that? Tell me that we've got solid ground here somewhere, not just all quicksand. All right, let's get our wash table out of here. We don't want to lose that. That would be really bad. It's kind of necessary for recovering gold. We could do without the magnetite separator. The way they've kind of changed the magnetite around, it doesn't seem to be as profitable an arrangement anymore. If it's even doable at all. So I'm not really even worried about that. Let's just unload all this stuff. All right. I'm gonna go try out that the big excavator. There's a bucket fell through the trailer too. And now grab our little. There we go. Okay, let's offload some hoses and things. I know we're gonna need these over here anyway, so we'll just stack these up so we don't lose more things. So I ended up having to go back to town to get some more hook ropes because one of the ones that I put on the ground apparently sank into that wonderful quicksand or whatever the deal is there and just flat out vanished. So we ended up with only 2, and I thought I might be able to try to make do with just 3 of them, but 2 of them definitely was not going to cut it. So oh, there's a deer right there. So I headed back to town. We got the cables that we needed. As long as I was headed that way, I also picked up our fuel trailer and I parked it over by the large trailer there. So we have fuel here now. Well, I'm kind of hoping this thing's already has fuel in it. I should probably jump in and check it out. See if I have to bring over a little fuel trailer here. What do we got fuel-wise? Show me the goods. No, you're just not going to show me? What's going on here? Oh, there's the fuel. All right, I got it. All right, so we've got about half a tank in this thing, so that's not so bad. I mean, it's funny, when you're in the compartment, you can't see the fuel gauge. It's only when you switch views that you can see it. It's so weird. I feel like it should be the other way around, but nevertheless. So we have fuel in this, so that's good. We're going to need our 4 cables out of here to start doing some heavy lifting and kind of swinging stuff around here. So we'll put, I don't know, we'll throw one there. I ended up getting the 5-meter cable. So there's a 4-meter, a 5-meter, and a 7-meter option. I figured I'd go middle of the road and just get the 5-meter option. Hopefully that will be the right length. I don't know how long it really needs to be able to grab onto these different items. But with any luck, we'll do okay that way. So I guess I'm gonna have to start this up. So we're gonna move the bucket up. I want to change to digging. There we go. All right, so I'll put it like that so we can hook our cables on it. I'm going to turn this off to save gas. I don't know how much fuel this thing consumes, but I do know that one of the updates they made, vehicles started to consume a fair amount more fuel than they were before, because they weren't really consuming anything. It seemed like you could drive them indefinitely almost. They wouldn't really draw in all that much fuel. Alright, that's 3. And last one. Okay, so we can use these to hook onto our equipment now to lift it into place, because we're going to have to set up all of our Tier 3 stuff way down there on that rack down there. Now, I don't know exactly where all the pieces ultimately go relative to each other. Well, now that I got these things hooked on here, I'm kind of thinking maybe I should have got the shorter hook ropes. These are the 5-meter ropes, and they're already dragging onto the ground, and I don't even have them hooked on anything. I hope I'm going to be able to lift stuff up with this. I'm just not even sure now. Alright, so what should we try to grab first? I guess the shaker deck is going to be one of the first pieces of machinery that's going to have to go on this, I would think. So, let's just turn this here as much as we can. We'll try to get the hook ropes over top of this piece of machinery. There we go. They kind of phase through it a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't create a problem. Alright, so we've got that in place now. So now we've got to grab each of the different hooks here and figure out which one I have, too. Okay, so that's the close one, so it's going to have to go on this hook here. There we go. Another close one here, so stick that on there. Oh, I didn't even have to click on it. It just snaps in automatically on its own. It's handy. This one will have to go over to here. There we go. And one more. It's a little weird because the lines actually go like through the piece of machinery. But we got it hooked on. Alright, so now the question is, where do we send this thing? So, oh, geez, that couldn't be. They couldn't really make that much more obvious, can they? That's a good indicator right there. I'm gonna guess. Oh, no, not driving controls. I want to go digging controls. So we're gonna want to. Let's see. I don't have to move this thing. I guess we'll have to extend the boom up this way a little bit. And then if we roll the bucket up, that'll get it up pretty high. And then we'll probably just have to be really careful rolling this thing in here. Now, I can't tell what direction this is supposed to be on here just yet. Oh, look at that thing swing. This is an expensive piece of machinery. We definitely don't want to mess with this thing too much. Although, it's, you know, actually, of all the pieces we stuck on here, this one's probably the most reasonable cost-wise. Oh, and I'm definitely putting this thing on the wrong way. Alright, so we're going to have to get this all the way around the other side, I think, because the slanted bars at the front are supposed to be for larger rocks. And that means I can't put it on this way. I've got to put it on the other side. She's swinging a fair bit, but I think we're going to be able to get in here nicely. Let's just put that right... Oops! Right, well that makes that easy. It's nice not to have to take all those hooks off. And not to have to be all that precise, it just sort of snaps it in place for you. So, I guess we'll go grab... what's going to have to come off of this thing? Is it going to be a sluice or a trommel? I feel like there's got to be like a rock sluice or something that's got to come off of this thing, because the extra, like the larger rocks have got to drop off, and then the smaller ones are going to go down and through the trommel. I can see where the trommel's going to sit. So let's maybe try grabbing that. We'll put it next. Well, there's a problem. Rope is too short. Maybe you do need the 7-meter long cords in order to move some of these pieces. Or it might just be where I have the bucket placed. Let's see if I can maybe stretch one of these other ones out here. So if this one is the other side. So that one clicks on. Okay, now we got a little slack there. So maybe if I take this thing around. There we go. So we've got that side attached, but we don't have the other side on. This one here, can I get it to go all the way to this? No, I don't think I can. I'm going to need to adjust. I'm pretty sure this is going to be... Yeah, it's too short. Oh, are you kidding me? I don't want to have to drive all the way back down, all the way back to town to get more lines. It's not exactly a short drive with this thing. Like to get out to Pine Valley is not the shortest distance around. Okay, so that kind of centers it a little bit better. I wonder if I lower this down. Let's see if that'll give me the reach that I need here. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go buy some longer lines, and I really don't want to have to do that. I have a feeling that might be why they have the longer lines. Oh, no. Come on, there's even slack on the other side there. Like, really? Can I get the close one to go? Where's the hook for it? Oh, it's inside the machine. That's a good place for it. Alright, we'll grab that one. Tell me this one will reach. Okay, good. We've got 3 on there. I wonder if 3 will be enough. Let's maybe, oh, you know what? If I roll the bucket in, that might give me enough slack to be able to reach with that last line. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yes! Alright. Let's lift this puppy up. No, not that. There we go. Extend the boom out a little bit. Alright. Nice. Nope, nope. Let's not swing this around too quickly. I have a feeling you can break the lines in this. Alright. Put this into driver mode. Try to back this out of here, hopefully without smashing out the windows of my truck. That'd probably be a good thing. Alright, this thing's pretty big and unwieldy, but I think we got it. I think we got it okay here. I can see this being a bit of a long process. We have quite a few things to put in here. Let's just try and swing this over like so. We'll lower it down. Yes, thank you. I love that it takes care of the the placement for you and like disconnection of all the lines and stuff. Oh, I didn't mean to get out of there. All right, we got our first sluice box here. This will go in. Now, it's conveniently labeled with an in and out marking, so we can tell which way it has to go. Now, it'll just be a question of where this particular one gets placed. So, oh, way up there. All right, I was not expecting that. Why do I have to place it way up there? Is this supposed to be... I don't understand why it's going way up top there, but I guess we'll go haul it up here and see what happens. Well, apparently it's for the larger rocks, but it has it set up in a way where they would ultimately just be kind of funneling into a weird little corner. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And actually, I have this... I gotta turn this thing around. Oh, that stinks. Alright, we're gonna have to try to tackle this from a different angle. Yeah, I think this is about the best position I'm gonna be able to get into to try to swing this thing into place. Now, I don't... Hopefully I can just get this thing close and then it will take over, because I don't think I... There we go. I don't think I could turn it at the exact right angle it needed to go. It still strikes me as such an odd place to have that chute, because all the rocks that get dumped off at the beginning are just going to wind up piling up on there. So I don't know what the deal is there. I'm not even sure how I'm going to go about loading this thing. So, the Tier 3 wash plant has the option of having... Oops. Come on. The Tier 3 wash plant has the option of having the conveyor belt system in order to feed it, and it looks like that's probably the way this is all designed, so that you would actually do that. Otherwise, I don't know how we dump it in here without making a huge mess. It's taken kind of a while, but we're finally on the last big piece of machinery to move into the actual wash plant setup itself. The duplex jig has got to go right on the end of this chute here, if I can just get it to swing into place properly. Come on. Just give me that close approximation that says it's good enough. There we go. Woo! Alright. So we've got all the big pieces of the actual wash plant set up here, but now we need to bring over the power generator so that it's close enough to generate the power we're going to need for all the different pieces of this beast. That's the last large piece of machinery you have to move here, and then once we get that in place, all we have to do is hook up all the hoses, set up with the pumps so we have water to our wash plant. We'll need to set up the electrical. And then lastly, we'll need to put in the miner's moss and the riffles to make sure we're actually catching some gold. Alright, we have our power generating plant positioned now. I guess this will be a good enough spot for it. I don't know that it doesn't really have its own defined spot, so I'm going to try and keep it within range of my cleanup station so they can run the power off of this as well without having to have other generators and things. But I think this will do. How do I curl my bucket in? Nope. There we go. Just have to get all this disconnected. And then we can finally get down to the finer details of hooking up all the hoses, the pumps, and the electrical. Alright, let's focus on getting some water first. I think we can just take it from this little creek runoff, although it doesn't look like it should have enough volume for the amount that this plant is realistically going to draw. I have a feeling it doesn't really matter, as long as the end of the hose is sitting properly in... sitting properly in the end of something. Something wet. As long as it's sitting in something wet, I'm pretty sure it'll probably be fine. I'm going to set this pump out here by our generator, because we'll probably want to turn these on in sequence. And then we should be able to take this hose. We can connect it on the water pump here, and then there should be enough length on it, I would think, to be able to run it all the way back there. It's interesting that there's only one size of pump in this game. Just the little pump here. But it seems to do the trick, so I guess that's all we need. Nope. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that has access to a water source, although it's not saying it does. What happens if I start this up? Does that water not count? Maybe it's because it's not connected on the other end to something. Let's try connecting this from the water pump into the wash plant, and we'll see what happens. I'm definitely going to need another one of the water pumps from back at the... Oh, you know what? I stuck it on the wrong line. Okay, so it probably works a whole lot better if I put the intake water on the intake instead of the output. Imagine that. There we go. Who knew? They labeled it in and out for a reason. Okay, there should be a water input. Yeah, there it is here. Okay, perfect. So that gives us the water supply we'll need for the wash plant. Now we need some electrical. Alright, we have the shaker deck and the trommel all plugged in. Now, the last thing we need to plug in here is going to be the duplex jig. Now, it takes a smaller electrical cord, and it's a bit of a distance, so I'm going to try and take a bit of a shortcut through my wash plant. See if this causes any problems for me. We'll just take a little jump right over the side here, and this should give us enough length in the electrical cord, I think, to make it all the way here, since we're not having to... There we go. We're not having to wrap all the way around the larger wash plant. And it kind of clips through, but I don't think that'll actually cause any problems. There we have it. All right, our wash plant is largely finished. We just need to put in the miner's moss and the riffles now, and we'll have this thing pretty much ready to go. We'll just after that, we pretty much just need to fuel up the power plant, feed this thing some dirt. Saved myself a few trips back and forth by using the pickup truck. That was I was gosh, kind of dreading running back and forth a whole bunch to try to load all this stuff in. So the ability to only carry one item at a time is a little frustrating sometimes, but I don't know if I have enough mats here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I might have gotten just enough of these mats. So I got 6 mats and 6 of the riffles to go on top of them. Well, hopefully this will be enough. I think I counted this right. I think it's 6. It seems like there's one per little wooden catch on the side there. This is number 4. Yeah, 2 more, 5 and 6. Now the racks themselves, they look like the grills look a little bit larger, so they might actually be able to cover a whole section. I only need 3 of those instead of the 6 that I bought, but I figured, given how far it is away to go back to the store from this particular claim, it seemed to make a lot of sense just to... Oop, what the... No. What? No. What? What happened? No. I just... Oh, there it is. Oh, camouflaged. For a second there, I thought it like fell through the sluice or something, and I just completely lost it. I would not want to have to go all the way back to the store to get this thing. All right, put a grill in there. Yeah, looks like we're gonna need 3 of these, so I've got some extras, but that's all right. Better too many than not enough, really. Not that these things wear out or anything, but at least I know I had enough. So it'll save me a trip back. All right, so we have our miner's moss down with our riffles. Now, I don't understand why there's only a single duplex jig here. The only thing I can imagine is that this trommel setup assumes that the first sluice is getting all the gold-bearing material, and the second one, I don't know why you'd even do it this way, unless it's just supposed to be a runoff for water. And then the excess rocks that are too large would go off the end, but This sluice here, I guess, doesn't catch any gold. We don't get anything out of it. So it's pretty much just this right here. We got our duplex jig and this one sluice. That's a lot of, really kind of a lot of setup just for something so small. We do need a couple pails in here, but fortunately, I'm like the pail king. I got a ton of these things. All right, the rest of these pails we'll probably save for washing the mats when we're ready to haul them out. So we'll probably only need, well, I guess at this point we'll need just 6 pails. So I've got excess pails at this point, because each one of the mats that we'll be able to wash off will probably take 1 pail to clean it. But that's it. We have our tier 3 wash plant all set up. If I can get some fuel in the power generator, then we should be ready to run, I think. I kind of want to fire it all up, but I think we'll do that next time. When we fire it up next time, we'll load some pay dirt in here, and we'll see how much gold we actually capture out of this system. It'll probably take a little bit of getting used to, like trying to make the dump into here, because this looks like it's more narrow than the bucket on the front end loader is wide. So I'm not sure how efficient we'll be at this, but it'll be interesting. Thanks everyone for checking out the video. Do hope you enjoy these, and you come back and check out some more. We'll definitely be back with some more Gold Rush. I want to get some pay dirt through this machine and see how much money we make off the tier 3 wash plant. I'm, as always, CrypticFox. I'll see all of you next time.